come on up. And can we please give a very warm welcome to Lou and Minnie.
Oops. I think this fell off.
It has. Don't worry. One USB-C connection away from success. Okay, fantastic. Take it away.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. We are very excited to be here. It's an insane venue. And I'm Minnie. This is Lou. We work at TLDraw at Finsbury Park. And today we're going to be teaching you how we taught models to play TLDraw. I'm going to give you a quick teaser of what's to come, but the main demo is in the latter half of the talk. And then Lou is going to explain to you what we do at TLDraw, some of the previous projects we've done, and what led to TLDraw Teach.
Great, and I will do that if my mic stops pinging off, but we're just going to go with it. We're going to go with it. We're just going to do this live. If I have to hold this, I will. Yeah, so what you're seeing right here is we made our own intro slide, but we also asked this model to create an intro slide as well, and it's done a pretty good job. It's done a pretty good job. You know, can you see?
You guys.
You guys, yeah. By the way, is the mic okay? Is it? Okay? All right. Okay. Let's go. So yeah, we're from TLDraw. TLDraw, if you don't know, it's a whiteboard library. It's a canvas library. So if you want to make canvas-like experiences like this one, so this experience we're within right now is built using the TLDraw library. As you can see, we've added lots of things like arrows. We spent a really long time on the arrows. Getting, it's probably yeah. Thank you, arrows fans. All right, we spent a lot of time making the Are you seeing that? Do you see that? Making the rotation really nice, right? And it has this digital ink. Oh, actually, I'm going to go into the inky mode. We spent a long time making it really nicely splodgy, right? Any splodge fans? Okay, and there's all these little extra details. If I resize this heart, can you see how the dashes stay at the tips of the heart? Do you see that? Anyway, so we could do a whole talk on this. Just some more context. So the TLDraw it's all web-based, right? So everything you're seeing on the canvas is just built with web technologies, and it all interacts with it like every other shape. I'm just going to pause that, right? And so I can even prove it to you. I could just open up this and sort of look. This is just HTML. So if you can code for the web, you can code for TLDraw essentially. That's just some important foreshadowing background. Okay, so back in the 14th of March, this is more foreshadowing. In the 14th of March, 2023, OpenAI introduced their first vision models, right? And they showed this particular demo. They had this drawing of a website that they drew it on a piece of paper, gave it to the image model, and it turned into a functional website. And so of course what we spent a lot of time doing, and the community tried doing with TLDraw, is could we do this with TLDraw? So we just have this little drawing of a little UI, and you can select it all and hit this Make Real button. It's probably too small to see, so you can just trust me. It says Make Real in the top right, and we sent this off to OpenAI and Anthropic, and they're both competing on making this real website. So look, I can type stuff in here.
In stages.
It works. Okay, and they've both done it pretty well. But the funny thing is, what if I change my mind? Right? What if I change my mind? It's not the end, right? Right? It happens a lot. So you see this button here, right? What if I want to move it over here? And the fact that this is all built on web technologies means that you can sort of draw on top. And I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to. Do you think it? There's no way that works, right? We might have to do a couple goes on. Okay, interesting. So it's done a pretty good job. It's done a pretty good job. Okay, but that's not good enough. I'm going to try something else. Let's try and turn this. What if I just try and make this green? I've just sort of colored it in green a bit and make real, right? Let's see. I'll hit it a couple times just to give it a few attempts. You know, tokens are cheap, right?
That's green.
That's green. That's green. Okay, so anyway, this is old news. We're not here to show you. This is not what we're showing you today. So this is boring, right? So we experimented with a whole bunch of other AI experiments. Like this is one called Draw Fast, where you can like generate models in real time. Like the funny thing is, when you have this like interaction, this canvas primitive, you can actually interact. Do you see what's going on here? I don't even need to talk. You can just have a look. We're interacting with an image in real time. This is because it's just all web-based. You can put anything on the canvas. You can put a webcam feed. This is what Tejas was losing his goddamn mind over this morning, right? Like, I'm going to post up the clips later, and you can draw on top of this and everything. However, there's a big problem, right? There's a big problem. So far, what I've showed you is we have our canvas contents, we send it to the AI, and it gives us something back. It gives us an artifact. And that's the end. End of story. What if that thing that the AI gives back to us is not a website, it's not an image, but it's like more canvas? What if the AI could play TLDraw, right? So that's what we've been trying to work on. However, LLMs are really bad at canvas. They suck at it if you just out of the box. So like lots of different teams are doing a great job at trying to improve this, right? So this is what FigJam does, right? So FigJam, they use templates, and I met some of the people who made this. They have a huge list of templates that the AI model populates with generated content, it works really well, but it's slightly more limited. So we've been doing these experiments where we basically give the AI the same tools that a human uses, right? Letting it use the draw tool and things like that. This is a really early experiment. And what we found is that it's pretty good, but like we weren't entirely sure which route to go, right? Here's another experiment from the labs, right? It's drawing this little person. The AI is in charge here, but like the results were mixed, right? So here's another. I think this was actually a more recent example. We've done loads of these different experiments. This is again using a completely sort of different approach. Here's another one you may have seen. This is one of the later experiments, I think. This was autocomplete. This was sort of flipping the question around. What if instead of asking the model to do things on the canvas, we could ask it to just like carry on? And I'm now really, really happy to show you like our current experiment, which is still very much a work in progress, but it's the best that I think anyone has ever seen the AIs do on the canvas. And we call it teach, right? We call it teach because we're still teaching it. I'm just gonna do a little. Oh, it's my mic. Okay, teach, right? And I'm super excited that Minnie is gonna show you some things that teach can do right now. Okay.
And I'm excited to show you. So that was a pretty good recap, but essentially this is what we're doing, affecting the canvas. And I'm going to show you straight away what it does. We create a little frame here, and then we can say, draw a snowman. Spelled that wrong. What we've also found is that if you have good grammar, put a full stop at the end, start with a capital, it usually does it a little better. So we're going to see what it does here. But what we're going to see is, yeah, we're using everything that you could use if you went onto TLDraw.com and started playing around with the canvas yourself. This is, we have circles, they're colored in, a couple of lines, triangles. And what we can also do that is really, really cool is then modify this canvas. Everything that we can see on our screen right now is what the AI can see. We can say, make it melt.
There's
no way
that works, right?
It's probably not going to work.
Let's see.
But it might.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And he's duplicated. Oh, he's melted. Tiny snowman. And that's really cool. But we can do a ton of other things too. And we've preloaded a bunch of prompts here. But you can get as wacky as you want. I think we've probably spent
so much of my job over the past few months has just been playing with this. So I guess by the way, check out the TLDraw Twitter feed and stuff to see this sort of.
Everything's there.
Wow, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, this is my favorite one. But and this one's labeled. So you never really know exactly what it's going to do, but you will always be delighted. And you can do more practical things too. It's not just drawings, it's not just colors. We can make a sample flowchart for preparing a talk, kind of like we were doing yesterday. And hopefully what we'll get is a bunch of shapes with text inside of them and arrows binding them to each other. Impressive. Lou lost their mic. It's just me now. And when we see this, we think, cool, this is a chart, but it's not really what I want it to look like. But surely I can't move things around. Or can I? So we can do that. We can also make a retro board. We spend a lot of time on our retro boards, and TLDraw also has really awesome little sticky notes that have a bunch of little cool features for editing them. And you can move those around, get your whole team to come in and play multiplayer, not on Teach, but on our regular TLDraw.com. And these you can also move around. You can also edit them. And you can also, if you remember Make Real, the little video demo from earlier, where we turned...
No way.
Yeah, let me show you. We started with the little sketch and then clicked Make Real, turned it into this. I should have loaded this. But this is going to turn it into a simple wireframe. There's not a really awesome use case for this that I can think of right now, but it is cool. And if you haven't seen by now, that's kind of the point of this talk.
No, are you seeing that? It's done it backwards. That's crazy.
That's Twitter. Or X. No, we'll stick with Twitter. But this one gets a little more complicated. We're asking to create a table for tracking the quantity of cakes sold. And what this will usually give us is the cakes, the quantity, and sometimes the price. We're going to see what it does here. Date. That's fine. We can say, get rid of the dates. But I don't know. You think it'll happen? I think this is the moment of truth. Wow. It's not over yet. We can turn this into a bar chart with the right circumstances if the demo gods are with us today. Thank you. And it even got the strawberry in the right color, which is really amazing. So, there's more. There's so many things. I'm gonna get through this. If you want to search the web, put your queries in some little curly brackets. You can do a bunch of fun things. This one on the top right, if it does it correctly, that's my favorite. But if it doesn't, I might just carry on. Yeah, this is the Paris Olympic shooter meme. It says, coolest shooter at the Olympics, no special gear, no problem. While our team was creating Teach, they kind of lent into what they called an AI-driven format, where they looked at what the AI language models tended to do and tended to create more often than other things, and also combined their technical knowledge, ideas, all of that, and let that guide the process. If you want to know more about that, you can come to us afterwards. I'm going to skip this one, but there's a lot of things that this can do. We call that mode easy, and it brings us to the end of our talk, where we want to talk about trends. I'm going to skip all of that. Back in the day, or I should say, when a new piece of technology comes onto the market, the tendency is for developers to default to using text. Back in the day, this was the computer. You had a keyboard, you would type. That was all well and good, but then along came the computer mouse. And that allowed people to have a lot more flexibility, a lot more freedom to move around the devices, do whatever they liked. But not long after that, I think I'm going to stress it out if I try and go too fast. We created...
That's a nice mouse.
That's a good mouse. We have trackpads. We have a trackpad here. And while that loads, I'm going to say this also happened with phones. First, we had the Nokia phone. You could type on the little numbers. If you tap 3 times, you could get a C. It took a long time. I can't imagine using that today. But we got Blackberries after that. and we could type real QWERTY keyboard messages. Then, we have the iPhone, best thing ever. Or not, Lou doesn't use an iPhone, so sorry. Smartphones. This is a real BlackBerry, but you get what we're saying. And now we can use our hands. I can, use haptic-y things, shake it to undo, swipe around. But what would be really cool, because with AI now, what we're seeing is that people are using chat. Again, we're seeing the trend of text being used when there's new technology, and that's how we interact with it. But AI doesn't have to just be chat, and that's not to say I don't love it. I pay for Claude. I use it every single day. But what if we could do more? And that's what we wanted to tell you about today. I hope we showed it to you well. And if you want to try it yourself, go to teach.tldraw.com or follow us on Twitter to talk more.
Wow. That was absolutely amazing, a tour de force